New package in the mail, everyone. Welcome back to the Web Voyager. Today we're going to be taking a look at a new 3D print of the upcoming Minimo Phone 2. So let's go ahead and get this open and we'll do a size comparison. This print was made using dimensions provided to us on Instagram by Minimal co-founder and CEO Andre, with proportions made to fit using the available images we've been sharing. On the left-hand side here, we do see the volume buttons. On the right hand, we have the fingerprint scanner and power button. On the top here, we do have the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack and the mute switch on the top right. And wow, initial first impressions here. This is a beautifully built, compact device, and I can't wait to see it in hand when it does release. Now, given the dimensions provided, I did want to go ahead and see how close the 3D print is to the specifications provided to us. So here we'll see the 72 millimeter width of the device. And height, we have it at 1.226 in length. And as far as depth, we have that coming in at 9.6, 9.4. Here we go. So, and then of course that doesn't include the actual keyboard, right? So the keys themselves would protrude a little bit more, but from back to front, 9.4. Beautiful. And while we're here, I did want to take a look at the potential display size, which I have coming in at 3.9. That spec hasn't been shared with us, but I do like that the front camera is outside of the display, giving an uninterrupted view. All right, first up, the Razer Berry. And right away, you'll be able to see that the Minimo Phone 2 is a tad bit shorter than the Razer Berry and significantly thinner. Of course, it's not a phone attached to a case here. Here's the right-hand side for you. And the front, let's take a look at that here. You'll see that the Razer Berry is just a bit wider than the Minimo Phone 2, and of course a tad bit taller. All right, and next up we have the Clicks communicator. And right away you can see the size difference between these two devices with the square 4.03 inch display of the communicator and the potential 3.9 inch display of the Minimo Phone 2. But down here at the bottom, I want to take a look at the chins here. The Minimo Phone 2 does seem to have the tiniest baby chin, with the Clicks communicator here having the raised chin here at the bottom right for better in-hand control, and of course the larger keycaps. So let's go ahead and take a look at the backs here. You'll see the flat back of the Minimo Phone 2 with a tiny camera bump. Of course, no camera bump on the communicator, but we do have the chamfered edges, right, to allow for a better grip when in hand. All right, looking at the left-hand side, we do see both have the volume buttons with the kill switch on the communicator, the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack on the top left of both devices, the mute switch on the Minimo Phone 2, and of course the power button on the communicator here. On the right-hand side, we do have the prompt key with, of course, the signal light, and of course the power button and fingerprint scanner on the Minimo Phone 2. The communicator does have that fingerprint scanner in the spacebar. Up next, we have the Unihertz Titan 2 Elite here, and right away you'll see that the Minimo Phone 2 is just a tad bit taller and just a bit narrower than the T2E. Here at the bottom, we do have what looks to be similar sized chins, so something to take in mind. The piano keys on the right-hand side and the island style here on the Minimo Phone 2. The Minimo Phone 2 having the volume buttons versus the volume rocker. Unihertz doesn't have the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack up top, but does have the IR blaster. Both phones have the power button and fingerprint scanners on the right with the convenience key for the T2E. Next, we'll take a look at the iPhone 13 Pro. You'll see it here with the 6.1 inch display. We'll turn around and see that both phones have that flat back design. See that height difference of the iPhone 13 here. Power button on the right hand side. Nothing at the top for the iPhone, of course. Charging ports at the bottom. And the left hand side does have the volume buttons. Now, A few of you have asked what the Clicks communicator might look like next to an iPhone, so I wanted to go ahead and pull that out here while we have this. And you'll see that the communicator definitely is a bit wider. Let's take a look at the T2E while we have that here as well, and you'll definitely see how much taller that iPhone is here. So, really, hopefully, this helps you all with size comparison, right? And that's what these videos are for. All right, and next up, we do have my favorite BlackBerry, the BlackBerry Q10. You will see, of course, that height difference of the Minimal Phone 2 here, but it does make up with it with that larger display. There is something to be said about these island keys. They are said to be slanted, similar to the Razorberry, and of course, the Blackberries before it. So that'll be interesting to see what they actually feel like in hand versus the piano keys on the Q10 here. Now, this next part is all speculation, but with the display measuring at 3.9 inches, it does closely resemble the Frankenberry. Video coming soon, guys. Please stay tuned. The Frankenberry is the LG Wing's secondary display, and it does have the BlackBerry Porsche 9983 keyboard attached, right? But the screen here is what I wanted to take a look at. They are very close in terms of dimensions, even sharing the same black bar at the bottom, right above the keyboard here. And this also is similar to what the Eco Mind 1 was using. The 3.9 inches also lines up with the Light Phone 3. So again, all speculation. Thanks for coming down that rabbit hole with me really quick there. But here again, we'll line up all three phones and see just how unique each one is. Starting with the communicator, this definitely feels like a two-hand typer, right? With the larger keycaps, the attention to detail in terms of grip. The Clicks team are putting great work into this. Very intentional device, right? Down to the software implementation with Niagara, the raised chin here at the bottom for the ergonomics that it offers. And they just announced the communicator ring, which essentially protects the front display here, which was definitely something I was worried about here, but they've essentially taken care of that. An intentional device for sure. And of course, the T2E being the smallest of the three devices due to the compact keyboard here, right? Being the piano style. As far as specs here, we don't yet know the full specs of the Minimum Phone 2. I believe those are going to be announced on August 10th. So definitely more to come. And Andre and Armin should definitely be proud of the work that they've been doing here. As always, thanks for spending some time on the channel. Thanks for watching. See you next time.